Hey, good morning, Sean. A quick demo for you for your 89 Sabers Graflex. I got this done yesterday. It was kind of a long day for Sabers for me yesterday, and then there was a small issue with this that I just didn't have it in me to fight last night, so I waited till this morning, right? I've done quite a few of these. This was the first one that I had to go and actually replace the tactile switch. When you buy this kit, there is a provided little tactile right underneath this guy right here for your auxiliary button. It's a simple little thing. It's not something that ever fails really, but this one did. It wasn't working. I had it all wired up and it just was not functioning. So what I ended up having to do this morning is I completely took this apart. I replaced that little tactile switch now, and now everything is fine. I also did take this little piece right here that's got the ball in it that attaches to that. It's kind of hard to explain. You're not going to be able to see it in the light. Yeah, I can't show you. But anyway, this piece right here attaches to a little rod. And that rod is what engages the tactile switch, and that switch is down here somewhere. I actually had to take this little piece and file it down a little bit because it was too tight. So this was a very interesting build for me, something that I thought would be run-of-the-mill, and then I ran into a few things that I had to fix. But no worries, it's fixed now. It is a 2-button setup, so your red switch here, that is your activation, and then when you slide this back here, that's your auxiliary button here, and I'll show you how all that works. Left the glass eye on here, as you and I talked about, just to show you that there is some shine through here. But of course, you can unscrew this and you can replace it with the secondary button that's just for show, and I left that in your kit. All right, and I'll send all that with the Saber. You've got CC Sabers in here for your lit PCB. Your blade retention is this flathead screw right here. And then how you get to everything is you just want to take this clamp and flip it down. I did sand this yellow card like we talked about. I sanded it quite a bit. I made sure that it was still tight though when you flip this clip down, so it's not going to slide out on you. But when you do that, this handle becomes loose, right? So you can take this handle, rotate it counterclockwise, and pull it out. It's on a J-lock system right there. You can see it. But once you take that out, this is your chassis that I came up with. This is an older version of my chassis that I just kind of took and I made some tweaks on. Trying out some different things just to try to make my stuff a little bit more unique in small ways, right? So you can see your Proffie board here. You got access to your SD card and your micro USB. You never have to move the board. It is a snap fit down into the shelf, but if you find that in the future it's popping up on you because of lifting it or whatever, you can use a little bit of E6000 on both sides and put it down on the shelf and let it cure, and it will stay there. But for right now, it's super firm, and there's no need for that board to ever come up, right? And if you flip it over, you can see your kill switch right here, which is what we talked about. So this has a kill switch for your removable battery. So your spring over here, and then you have a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. So we'll throw a battery in this guy real quick. I did get all the sound fonts on that you sent me last night, so everything's working well. So we'll just snap that battery right in just like that. Won't hear anything until we come over here and flip the switch.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Once you do that, we can put the handle back on. Now, because there's 2 J-locking mechanisms, one on each side, you want to pay attention to which one you put on so that your cobalt ring is lined up properly, right? So we'll use just that one right here. Slide it over until everything is lined up with the clamp, and then clamp this card down, and I'll show you what I meant by that. So I put this handle on, twisted it, I made sure my grip was lined up with my control box, and this side is where the cobalt is, so everything is lined up properly right there. Hopefully you can see that, right? If I put it off to the side, you can see it lines up. And now when you flip this clamp down, everything is nice and tight. I did give you swing on. You got your LEDs firing up. You can see that shine through in your glass eye I was talking about. Auxiliary. The auxiliary is on a spring. I don't remember if I mentioned that earlier, but that rod has a spring on it. So everything, all you have to do is flip back, which is what we'll do to change sound fonts. And it goes right back into position, so you don't have to worry about bringing it forward again. And if you don't want to swing it on, you can hit activation. We'll put a blade in this guy. This takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. This is my shorter 1-inch test blade, and it has been sanded vigorously, right? And this is pretty much just exclusive for testing 89 Sabers, lightsabers, because your blade socket here is about 0.99 inches instead of the 1 inch. So when you get a brand new blade, you want to do some sanding. And if your blade is super tough, trying to fit in this blade socket, turn the saber on before you put the blade in. So that way, when you're putting the blade in, come down and hit those pins, you can stop. I can feel the pins on this blade because it's been sanded so much. But if you got that brand new blade and you're trying to shove it in there, first of all, if it's giving you too much grief, stop, take it back out, and sand it some more. Don't force it, because what you don't want to do is just mash on this blade, trying to get it inside the saber. You don't know that you're up against the pins, and you just keep on pushing. There's one set screw that's holding your PCB holder in here, and it's firm. But if you put all your might on a blade and keep pushing, you're going to lodge it, or I'm sorry, dislodge it, right? So you want to be careful for that. Anyway, we got the blade in. I tightened up the blade retention right here. Still got nice shine through when the blade's in. If you want blade lockup, what you want to do, because we left battle mode off, is hold the auxiliary down and hit the saber. Like that. It's a little tricky, but you can do it. You see it right here. On a full-length blade, as you do that and you're holding the aux button down, you'll see your blade lockup will move on your saber according to how you move the saber, right? I got it right here now. I made its way to the middle. And I go out to the tip. It looks a lot better on a full-length blade, which I programmed this to 32 inches like you wanted. We'll twist it off and go to another sound font.
Commander Skywalker, do you copy?
You'll notice when you're cycling through your fonts, you have two Vader fonts. One is at the very end, it's the regular Vader font. And then the very last one is what I made for your battery meter. You just have to name that a font. I just went ahead and I named it the Vader font because it was the one right before it. But when you hit power, you should see your battery meter on a full-length blade. It's not going to show up on this guy because this battery is full, and this is programmed for a full blade, and this blade here is only like 18 inches long. So that's why you don't see that.
Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me.
Nice snow swing. Little flash on flash. How to get to your soundtrack on each font is just a long press on the power button. And then it's the same thing to turn it off. It's another long press. Same thing on every sound font. That's how you do it.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This one should be a green blade. Nice shine through.
Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake.
Now I'm going to show you how to change colors with the color wheel, right? We got blue. If you want to change colors, what you want to do is press aux or hold down aux and hit power. You'll hear that sound. Now you can just literally twist the saber and cycle through different colors. So if we want a yellow, we'll find that, we'll hit power. You hear that noise? Now we've locked in that yellow color. Just like that. Or red, right? Just like that. Now we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out and go over taking the battery out. Because you have a kill switch, obviously you don't have to take the battery out every time. Pop that out. But you will want to flip that kill switch when you're not using it because Proffie doesn't have a true deep sleep mode. So we flip that clamp down again, take the handle off, turn this on, right, until we come over here and flip the switch, and it cuts everything off like it should. I'm going to take this battery out because I'm going to send it separately in your box. But that is pretty much your 89 Sabers Graflex. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will actually try to get this out in the mail to you today. All right, thanks.